let's get on to some text changes. Not sure if I'll have to shorten this if I'm going over time.
It's okay.
It's okay? Okay. Alright, let's look at text changes, because some of this information is very hard to come by. You have to look at quite a few websites, books, articles, and over time you get little clues from here and there, and you just try and patch them together and say, oh, you find something about that particular topic and you make a note of it, then you find a little bit more somewhere else, and eventually you start to build up like a profile of what the hell happened way back then. So looking at some key text changes, Constantine, 325 AD, the Council of Nicaea. It's claimed by some authorities that he commanded all the religious people that were coming to the council in Nicaea to bring all their religious writings, their scrolls, and there must have been one or 2,000 of these, and they had to be submitted. And the chief historian of the time for the church was Eusebius, and he was apparently commissioned by Constantine to scour all these manuscripts and try and blend them together into something that was cohesive, but he was also meant to not undermine the power of Rome and certain other things. And it's believed that the original manuscripts that all these good folk assembled and handed over, once they had been used for reworking the scriptures, most likely they were destroyed or banned from anyone having them in their possession anymore. So in effect you could claim that Christian history and Christianity as we have it today is more a product of the 4th century AD, that what preceded it were various strands of conflicting and sometimes parallel versions in ideas, all jostling and competing, but eventually by the time you get to this stage, all this instability was not good for the Roman Empire, and Constantine said, you people just keep fighting over all these points, I need you to be single-minded and keep this empire together. So you get like an enforced system. Acaria S would say that Christianity would have started, say, in Antioch, which is in Syria, and then it would have grown somewhat in Alexandria in Egypt, where there are a lot of Jewish people that would have fled from Jerusalem after the Romans destroyed most of Jerusalem. So you've got this exile of Jewish people to nearby Alexandria. So that was a big melting pot of Gnostic and Jewish and all sorts of things. And also they had the that amazing library that was destroyed when the Romans fought against Cleopatra. So Christianity, most likely, the more official version, would have started or sprouted in Antioch, Syria, spread and developed in Alexandria, Egypt, and then once you get to Rome, that's when it all starts to become more consolidated, and what's written is meant to be respected and as the official line. We know that Constantine actually, out of those manuscripts, he produced what he called the New Testimonies, and they were finally released or published around 331 AD, and he made 50 copies of these new Bibles, his own Constantine Bibles, 50 copies, and they were sent, whether it was just throughout the city that he lived in, or whether it was just churches within a certain radius of the Eastern Roman Empire. I'm not sure, but we do know that he did have 50 official versions of his new scriptures sent out. Maybe some churches got more than one copy. So there you've got the 50 gift Bibles that are there to endorse the new type of Christianity. This information, to some degree, some of the details were confirmed by ancient academics who were respected. 3 people in particular: Lactantius, another chap called Sextus Manetho, and Socrates Scholasticus, all very difficult names to pronounce. So they recorded these what happened at the council, because a lot of the original, I think even the Catholic Church doesn't have records, or at least it claims they don't have records of what happened at the council, or not full records, whether they were destroyed or put away as a privacy issue. But over the centuries, Constantine's new testimonies were enhanced even further with extra writings and the addition of what they call interpolations. I believe that's where something has an original meaning and just gets a bit of a tweak in another direction or another intensity to change the emphasis on things. So Constantine was one of the big people involved with changing the scriptures. Another person was one of the popes, Damasus the First. He enforced a ban on the Bible itself at the First Ecumenical Council of Constantinople, which was 381 to 383 AD. So it's one thing to have the Bible put together, but then they go and ban it under pain of death. And that ban lasted over 1200 years, even up till the time of the King James Version being printed in 1611. That ban, to some degree, would have held a grip on access to scriptures. So they rework it and then they ban it, so only certain people can read it. Another character, Jerome, Saint Jerome, he was commissioned by Pope Damasus I. Jerome's famous for the Latin Vulgate version. The Vulgate, 405 AD, that came out. I mean, he probably spent a few years working on it. And this Pope, according to what scholars have claimed, asked Jerome to write a Vulgate version, but to include the unusual themes of virgin birth and resurrection. So apparently virgin birth and resurrection themes were not part of the earlier Bibles that were floating around, that probably got handed in at the Council of Nicaea in 325. So here we've got a Pope asking a very clever scholar of the Church to come up with a Latin Vulgate version, but to include these supernatural themes.